Hey, what's happening out there in crypto world? Um, I'm still following the 60-minute chart. It's kind of interesting. I got a pretty cool little pattern. I don't know if I'm going to be right or not, but I thought I'd throw it out there, kind of take a look at it. I think it's pretty interesting, so I'm going to flip over to that so you can stop looking at me. All right. All right. I kind of went over the 60-minute chart yesterday, kind of looking at Fibonacci levels and those kind of things, but the things I have on here, just a bearish trend line here, this red dotted line. I got the ADX down here, the black line's the ADX, and the directional index lines that are plotted with it. The RSI is the orange line down here. Uh, uh, rest of these are just arrows. I'll show you what they mean here in a second. And then the other lines are just Fibonacci retracements. And I also just got like a quick Elliott wave count on here. All of this is just kind of watching this for fun, but I don't know if this pattern will hold out, but it'd be kind of interesting if it does. First thing I was looking at was this trend line break. I put a blue arrow here, taking the distance, the highest or the furthest distance or rate of change underneath the line. And then at the point of break, you take that same distance, and that would be your objective from the breakout of the pattern. Um, Now I know we are starting to break down a little bit, but this is off an ABC zigzag possibility. So I think that this pattern could kind of hold true if we do have the Elliott wave working here. You got a quick one, you got a two down here that held at the 61.8% level. You got a three here, a four, and then a five, which is one wave, which starts kind of a new trend, hopefully because of the break of the trend line. And then we got an ABC zigzag pattern, which off of this low and this high, the 61.8% level is at 98.41, which on the video I did yesterday, I thought that's what it would go down to before we found some buying support, because we broke this shallow fib here at 38.2, which kind of turned into resistance. But now, do we have buying interest here? Yes, we're starting to see some. So I was just thinking that this move right here, after this, we'd have another move to the upside, which this distance right here is the same distance right here on these arrows. Um, and I mean, it really doesn't mean much but it does kind of tie in if this kind of goes on a rally this way. By the end of July, uh, we will be back up to 12,000, which is basically the breakout point of this trend line. So kind of an interesting pattern to where you'd have the one, two, and then the wave three would be out this way, and then a four and a five working its way up if this remains bullish. Right now, the directional index lines are kind of tying up, but the momentum's still falling. So it's not the greatest sign in the world. But what I'm going to do is I've been playing this. I bought a little bit here because I just like that region for other dollar cost averaging that I've been doing. But then I also bought right down in here. My stop is going to be underneath this 98.41 if this does break down. Uh, because I think it could go to a full retracement or even further. I mean, even if it starts to break this point with some momentum to the downside, this 127.2 is going to be a nice reversal spot for me, which is right around the 8,500. That could be a possibility. Definitely not out of the woods for that yet. But I do like the way this pattern is setting up. So, getting out of overbought conditions, starting to get a little bit of buying interest on the RSI. And let's see if we can hold up here. So, just kind of an interesting pattern that I'm looking at. We'll see if it comes to fruition or not, but we'll find out because I'll be stopped out under the 9,800 if it is wrong. So just a quick overview of the 60-minute. Any other questions, comments, concerns, anything out there charting wise, Fibonacci wise? Follow me out on Twitter. I'm at FiboSwanny, and I'll see you out there. Peace out. Happy trading.